Hey everybody, so I have been trying to figure out exactly how we are going to stay connected as a church family, how we're going to try to keep our heads on straight when everything seems to be so upside down these days. So this little dispatch is sort of an effort to do that. My hope is that I can do something like this just about every weekday, post it to Facebook, and the purpose will be to give updates on church life, such as it is, to allow people to share prayer concerns so that the congregation as a whole can be aware of what's going on in the lives of fellow church members. And we can do that by sending emails to prayer@milfordpc.org. That was the one element of our live stream and worship on Sunday that actually went really well. Those emails came in and I was able to share those, even if you didn't get them until the evening when the sermon was actually posted online. But the other thing I want to do is I want to encourage you to read Scripture daily with me. I'm guessing you have more time on your hands than you're accustomed to. And this is a great time to make a habit, a discipline of spending time in Scripture. So the way I want to encourage you to do that is to follow along with me in the daily lectionary. So the lectionary is a set of readings that are specified over the course of 3 years, and some churches follow the lectionary readings on Sunday mornings, and we don't tend to do that. But there are also lectionary readings for each and every day. And so I'm going to be posting the readings for each day on our website. You can go to daily.milfordpc.org, find the readings there, and read along with me. And I hope that each day I can post early in the morning so you have a chance to hear a little bit about what's coming up in the reading. I'll try to share what little I might be able to share, because some of the readings are strange and obscure, and this is a great time to dive into those parts of Scripture we don't usually spend time in. So I'll try to help guide you along the way as we do these readings and this discipline together. And so for today, late as it is, it's not too late to sit down and read for 15 minutes or so. The readings are Psalm 81. There's always a psalm in the lectionary, and for the daily readings, you spend a few days with each psalm, 3 days before the psalm changes to another one for the next 3 days before Sunday comes around. So it's Psalm 81, which is a psalm of praise. There's a reading from Genesis chapter 29. It's the beginning of one aspect of the story in the life of Jacob. It's his search for a wife. And he goes and he meets Laban, who is his uncle, and Laban's daughter Rachel, and he falls madly in love with her right at the beginning. But if you remember the story of Jacob, he has to work very hard to win Rachel as a wife. First he gets tricked and so on. Maybe we'll get to that in the story. But this is just the beginning of that saga for Jacob. And then there's a reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, where Paul is encouraging the Christian community to remember what God had accomplished for Israel in liberating them from captivity. That God led them through the Red Sea, and Paul sees that as a metaphor for baptism, so bringing it into the Christian context. God not only led them through the Red Sea, but God also fed them with manna in the desert. God made water pour forth from a rock. And so for Paul is rereading this event in order to help Christians in the first century understand that God provides for them. Now he'll go on to warn them not to do what Israel did, not to whine and complain and to want to go back, but that's not for our reading today. For our reading today, it's a reminder of the ways that God provides. And that, I think, is an important reminder for us in the midst of everything that's going on right now. So just a couple of quick updates then. I had mentioned on Sunday in our sermon video that there would be a funeral service for Dave Mueller this Friday at 2 o'clock. Given the new and increasingly strict restrictions on public gatherings right now, that service will not take place. If there is occasion for a service down the road for Dave, then I will be sure to let you all know about that. But do keep Bob Mueller and the rest of his family in your prayers as they continue in their time of grief. The Anderson family had a bit of a scare this week. Yesterday morning, or I should say in the middle of the night, Owen, our oldest, woke up with fever and cough. So of course we're panicking, and we sent him to the we took him to the doctor, and they went to all kinds of crazy precautions for him, but turns out it was influenza. I was thrilled. That seems a crazy thing to say. And now influenza is working its way through our house, so it's been a bit of a crazy time here, but we're thankful that that's all that it is, and we hope to all be well very, very soon. And then one thing I want to leave you with, a really neat story that I heard on Saturday evening at 8 o'clock p.m. This was a result of a social media campaign. The people in Spain all left their houses. Of course, they're on lockdown, so they're not supposed to leave. They all walk out into their balconies or front porches, all at 8 o'clock, and they just erupt in applause. They just start cheering all at once, all together, and they were cheering for health workers, which I thought was so moving and amazing, because surely it is our health workers, from lab technicians all the way up through doctors and those at the highest levels. They are on the front lines of this effort. They are more exposed to danger than many of us, and they deserve our applause. They deserve our appreciation. And of course, they need our prayers, so do keep them in your prayers. So that's it for today. We're going to try this thing and see how it works, and I hope to be back in front of you again tomorrow. Take care and wash your hands.